has written a brand new Christmas novel, or a brand new novel called Unexpected Christmas Hero, published by New Hope Publishers. Kathy Macias, welcome to today's issues.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here.
And Kathy, where are you right now?
I'm actually in Southern California in a little unincorporated area called Homeland that no one's ever heard of. It's about midway between L.A. and San Diego.
How about
Hey, I was there a week and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I was somewhere between there.
somewhere.
What was it? What's that interstate that runs down there? 5?
5, yes, uh-huh.
From L.A. to San Diego?
It sure does.
I drove that interstate, but I was disappointed because I had to do it at night, so I didn't get to see I know.
You missed our 5-lane parking lot then.
Well, I got enough of that in Los Angeles. Let me tell you
okay.
that. Yeah, that was terrorizing. Actually,
yes, it is.
I'm still traumatized by that day on the freeway in L.A.
Kathy, tell us. I want to get to there's a great story about the picture on the cover of your book, and I want to get to that in just a moment. But tell us about, introduce us, if you will, to the novel Unexpected Christmas Hero.
You know, I'm kind of known for writing fiction about real-life stuff, kind of the in-your-face issues. And so it isn't unusual that I would tackle a topic like homelessness, but I honestly hadn't thought of it myself, even though I've been involved in homeless ministry for many years. It was actually someone in our family who experienced it for a time and challenged me to, as he put it, put a face on homelessness and help the church to really see that the population of the homeless is a little bit more than what we normally would stereotype them as being. And so I began to do some research and was really appalled to find out how many of the homeless, even if they're temporarily homeless, are made up by families with young children. And so that's how I began the novel, to build around a single mother who, well, actually she's a widow. Her husband has passed away unexpectedly and left her in dire financial straits, and she had no idea they were in that situation, and suddenly finds herself homeless with 2 very little children, and that's a tough road to navigate. And then I also brought in one of the other characters that I found as I explored the homeless population, and that was a homeless Vietnam vet who was not in good health, and he sort of takes them under his wing and becomes their unexpected Christmas hero.
Okay, boy, that's a great. I can feel the drama and the tension in the way you've just laid it out. But I want to make sure that you tell us about the story. You know, book covers. You don't always think of a story behind a book cover, but there is an amazing story behind the book cover on Unexpected Christmas Hero. So could you share that story with us?
I sure will. In fact, I refer to that as the story behind the story, and it's so obvious that God's fingerprints are all over it because I did not have a clue, knew nothing about any of this coming as I researched the book and put it together. And I turned it in about a year ago to the publisher so they could begin all the process of the editing and the pre-pub marketing and all the things that need to be done. One of those things was they hired a photographer to see if they could capture just the right image to put on the cover to represent that unexpected Christmas hero, the homeless vet in the book named Rick. And normally they would just pull a stock photo, but for whatever reason, they really felt that they should get an original photo. So the photographer and his wife were actually vacationing in Asheville, North Carolina last winter. Were walking around, and he had familiarized himself with the manuscript, so he knew what he was looking for and what Rick in the book, how he was described, what he looked like. And he and his wife spotted this man and thought, my goodness, it was like God had just dropped him out of heaven. He was the right age, he had the beard, he was dressed the right way. So they approached him and told him what they were doing and what the book was about, and he readily agreed to pose for the cover, and he said, you know, I really am homeless. His name was Willard Parker. And he said, I have not seen my family in many years. My health is very bad. And I've been hoping and praying lately that somehow, some way, I could find them again. I could reconnect with them. And he said, maybe being on the cover of the book will help. And so that's what started it. When the photographer told me that and we got the cover completed, that's when I kind of began a campaign of just splashing that cover all over the Internet, everywhere I could, and saying, do you know where this man's family is? And sure enough, a lady saw it, and she thought, wow, I haven't seen my friend Amber's dad in years, but it sure looks like him. So she called her friend, said, go to the website, look at this picture. She did. She started crying, and she said, that's my daddy. And so she
Oh,
contacted
my.
me, sent me her phone number, and we connected from there.
That needs to be a movie.
I think so. Absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. We're talking to, how do you pronounce your last name, Kathy?
Macias.
Macias, Macias. Kathy's with us. She's a award-winning author. The book she's written is called Unexpected Christmas Hero. It's a novel and available in bookstores everywhere. Also, you have a website? Or?
I do. It's Kathi, Kathi, Macias, Macias.com. If they can't remember that, they can just go to boldfiction.com.
All right. Well, any chances of this of your story being made into a movie here?
I actually do have some people very interested in talking to me about it. Where it will go from there, we don't know, but God certainly has moved on this story so far beyond anything we had imagined. And in fact, now we are in the process of winding up a fundraising campaign to get enough funds together to get Mr. Parker and his family all together for the holidays. They're not going to make it quite for Christmas, but probably closer to New Year's. And he will be meeting his grandchildren for the first time. Isn't that wonderful?
Wow, that is, and you played a part in it.
That's what really stuns me. You just never know what God is up to. All you do is, if he says go left, you go left, or go right, you go right, and you end up in these wonderful places, and you say, Lord, you just never cease to amaze me.
Well, amazing. Well, listen, Kathy, we wish you the best. Will you, hey, let us know what happens with this reunion.
I will, yes.
Okay.
I'll give you an update. I should have pictures.
And your website, again, is, just spell it out for our listeners here.
Kathi, Kathi, Macias, Macias.com, or boldfiction.com.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for being on, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The same to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Great. Tim, our listeners